Listening to the Right Voices. Pastoral Care of Persons with Schizophrenia. By Brett Fawcett, Austin Marden, and Catherine Marden. Narrated by Ian Small. Contents. Introduction, page 7. Chapter 1. Being Attentive, page 15. Chapter 2. The Dangers to Persons with Schizophrenia, page 21. Chapter 3. Communities of Healing, page 27. Chapter 4. Theologically Interpreting Mental Illness, page 41. Conclusion, page 49. Appendix, Canon Law, the Sacraments, and Schizophrenia, page 55. Introduction. Truly, you are a God who hides himself, O God of Israel, the Savior. Isaiah 45:15, New Revised Standard Version. I shall know him, and redeemed by his side I shall stand. I shall know him, by the print of his nails in his hand. Fanny Crosby, a hymn writer who was blind from birth, my Savior first of all. Being around people with schizophrenia can be uncomfortable and sometimes even scary. Not as much as you'd think, though. It's not always like that disheveled guy you see marching back and forth at the bus stop downtown, muttering and sometimes snarling to himself about planets or guns or whatever stream of apparently random thoughts appears to be running through his mind. Sometimes it's a lot more subdued than that. Sometimes it's just that the person in front of you seems to talk in a kind of monotone or to stare. But sometimes it is more like Bus Stop Guy. Not that Bus Stop Guy is a threat to you. The probability of a person with schizophrenia committing an act of violence is a lot lower than the probability of an alcoholic committing an act of violence. But, like I said, there's something scary about schizophrenia. I open with this because of something Dorothy Day once said. Dorothy Day, as you probably know, devoted her life to the poor. Her whole ministry, if you want to call it that, was dedicated to shoving rich Christians' faces in the fact that if you don't recognize Christ in the poor, and if you don't restructure your whole economy and society around the fact that the homeless and the ill-paid are actually the face of Jesus Christ, the punishment and even damnation of Matthew 25 hangs over your head. She lived with the poor. She lived the life of the poor. She served the poor, and she loved the poor. You'd expect someone like that, especially someone with as much talent as a writer as Dorothy Day, to have some pointedly beautiful and insightful things to say about the poor. And she did. Here's what she wrote about the least among us. There are two things you should know about the poor. They tend to smell, and they are ungrateful. You see, what the Catholic Church calls the preferential option for the poor, the idea that our highest social priority should be caring for the disadvantaged, doesn't mean that we aren't honest about what the poor are like. The opposite is true. Love means willing the highest good of the other as other. It means affirming their existence, but in a way that admits the reality of who and what they really are. Saint Teresa of Calcutta also dedicated her life to the poor, and she described them as being Jesus Christ in a distressing disguise. She didn't scold anyone for being distressed. She just urged them to look past that into the face of Jesus. In a passion play, it's very easy to figure out which actor is playing Jesus because of how he'll be dressed. Usually he'll have a beard, often long hair, and of course those unmistakable long white robes. These are a clue to us. Ah, this person is Jesus. But God has given us a slightly more, distressing clue about how you recognize him in our daily lives. You see, some of the greatest people you may ever get the chance to meet are persons with schizophrenia. Some of them are brilliant, some of them kind, compassionate, and devote their lives to the servants of others. Some of them look just like Jesus Christ. For others, the disguise is a bit distressing. But if you find such a person standing before you, you have to remember that this is the disguise under which Jesus chose to appear to you. And that is what this book is about, fulfilling the preferential option for the poor by looking steadfastly and honestly at persons with schizophrenia in our midst. And that's exactly where they are, whether we've admitted it yet or not, and learning how to treat them just like Jesus Christ. And this isn't just a nice idea, by the way. According to Jesus, this is our duty and responsibility.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?